All right, we are back here with Inside Nova talking high school football. We have Dave Fawcett, our fearless sports editor. I'm Trevor Baratko. Dave, how are you?
Good to see you, sir.
And good to see you as well. So let's get into it here. All good things must come to an end. And in this case, we're talking about the Battlefield Bobcats. Give us the
Right.
rundown.
Sure. It's one of those games where I think maybe on one level people might go, yeah, that was an upset. Battlefield, of course, had a 48 game regular season winning streak coming in. They had beaten Patriots six straight times in the regular season. But on the flip side of that, this is a Patriot team that beat Battlefield in the playoffs last year, ended their season 11-1. They have a very stout defense. That's kind of their foundation of their team, or really the strength of their team, with eight returning starters, including a led by their all-state linebacker who's committed to Penn State. So, it's one of those things. I mean, they definitely were, obviously up for this game. There were a lot of ramifications to it, but Patriot, came to play, and
Yeah.
I don't know that it was a totally, you could really deem it an upset, just because of what they're capable of, what they've done, in the past, regardless of, regular season, matchups with Battlefield over the years. So, the defense forced four turnovers, including three fumbles.
Right.
So, they did an excellent job. I think held Battlefield to 150 total yards of offense. The flip side of that, the other part of this, and we talked a little bit about this last week, but I think it bears repeating, is this quarterback that Patriot has right now, their freshman,
Mhm.
true freshman, again turned just 14 in August, named Anthony Mallory, and
Yeah.
this was by far the biggest game of his life. I mean,
Right.
he started a couple games prior to this, but this was, given its Battlefield, everything on the
The
line,
rivalry.
rivalry, right? There's district title implications, playoff, there's all these different things. I mean, the kid, I mean, showed a lot of poise,
Yeah.
and obviously, again, continues to play above his years. He accounted for both touchdowns, ran for one, threw for the other. And so, it's, they
But
did what they had to do.
for
And
14-year-old lighting it up under the
yep,
bright lights. That man, what a I'm sure he was living large, living his best life all weekend after that win. So
absolutely.
how neat. Very cool. All right, let's run through the where the playoff picture stands right now. I don't know. Do you have the rundown? Do you have the power ratings up? Because I
I
can
don't
I can go
have them,
through
but
them
I
if you don't. Yeah.
kind of just in the off the top of my head, kind of one of the things that's we're entering week 8. We've got a
Mhm.
month left in the regular season. Right now, with Battlefield losing and Colonial Forge winning, the 1 and 2 spots flipped in the region. So now Forge is number one, Battlefield's number two. So there's a lot of jockeying still going on. I think with the number one seed obviously is important because you get to host, you get home field advantage
Yeah.
all the way through regionals as long as you're winning. But the other important thing about that is if you have a higher point rating than the top rated team from the region you'd face in the state semifinals, you'll also get to host the state semifinals.
Okay.
So, there's little things like that. And obviously, with the top, there's 8 teams that make it out of a 19 team region. So it's getting tighter. Obviously, Patriot really, helped themselves tremendously
Yeah.
with this win and the points that come with that. But now you're going to see even, you know, farther down, Forest Park hosts Garfield this Friday. That's a big Cardinal District game, but there's a lot of riding on that playoff wise. Forest Park is right now at number 9. Garfield's at number 8. But if Forest Park wins, that's going to change things for them. They go up, Garfield could go down. So, and then kind of those who are kind of in the middle. But there's still a lot I think to probably be decided as even though we're a month out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What about four weeks left in the regular
That's
season? Is that
correct.
about right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I'll quickly run through them just for posterity's sake. Uh, 1, the Colonial Forge. 2, Battlefield. 3, North Stafford. 4, Woodbridge. 5, Independence. 6, Patriot. 7, Colgan. 8, Garfield. So if playoffs started today, right, Dave, those would be the 8 teams in there.
That's correct. Yep.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And did you want to hit on that Garfield Forest Park game? I don't know if you wanted to chat any more about it, But yeah,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
they are
Yes.
neck and neck. Garfield's at 8, 26.33 points. Forest Park is at 9 with 25.43 points. I mean, they're really bunched up there, right in the middle of the rankings.
And
But yeah, what
they
can we
certainly
expect from the game Friday?
sure. So, Forest Park, their top running back, really, they're probably their top offensive threat. Kellen Lewis has been
Mhm.
out the last two games. He's just been kind of under the weather, having some sickness there, and so they could get away with that against Freedom. They were able to beat them, but I think it hurt them a little bit, certainly in their 17-3 loss Woodbridge this past Friday. So hopefully he can get back because they really, he helps to open things up a little bit more. They've got other options there, but he's really critical to that. And Garfield just they've been on a roll. Especially after that Colgan win, that was really huge for them. They're coming off now a 40-0 win over Potomac this past Friday. Again, showed their kind of their versatility on offense with how running and passing the ball. So with the with the options they have there. So it could be a good game on both sides, and both sides very solid defensively. So I'd imagine it should be a pretty evenly matched game, especially if Kellen Lewis is able to come back
Yeah,
at Forest Park.
go down to the wire there.
Yep.
I just kind of heading back to Battlefield, just wanted to kind of underscore as I was reading the story over the weekend. Battlefield's so I think we kind of glossed over it because we knew what we were talking about, but yeah, their
Sure.
48 game regular season win streak came to an end. Their last regular season loss before this past week was March 12th, 2021. That is quite a run. But you know what? I'm sure they'll hope to get a new streak going here.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
Dave,
They'll be fine.
I know for this week you have a really cool, interesting feature story that I've been excited about for several weeks here. So why don't you give us a little preview on that?
Sure. So, obviously when, you're covering sporting events, usually, you're focused on the game and what's going on the field or on the court. But, there are a lot of things that help make that kind of game day atmosphere that are going on, beyond just the game itself. And one of those things are mascots. And so, we see mascots, you see them at the pro level, the college level, and certainly the high school level. And so I thought we thought it'd be interesting to kind of look into that a little bit more. Kind of what is it? What's the process involved in not only becoming a mascot, but also kind of just how what does one do, and how does it kind of just get taken care of? And so, what was interesting, especially at the high school level, you've got the students obviously who are doing it, and then you've got teachers at the schools who oversee that. And so, they're out there certainly on Friday nights doing their thing and having a lot of fun, but there's a lot of work and a lot of preparation behind the scenes that allows them just to do what
Yeah.
they do on those Friday nights. You've got kids stuffed in hot, smelly, outfits, even with the cooler temperatures, dealing with that. You've got to make sure you got kids who are available to do it. It's not terribly involved and, they're asking them to be acrobatic and do all these fancy routines, but because it's such a staple of the game atmosphere, it's helpful to kind of create a family fun atmosphere,
Hmm.
engage the fans, especially kids, and those types of things. And so we just thought it'd be kind of neat to see what's really involved with that at that level. And I don't know, I found it pretty interesting. Things that I kind of had a lot of built-in assumptions on how it worked, and
Right.
I learned a lot about how well wrong I was on kind of how this sort of unfolds.
Yeah, that is cool. I can. So we'll have that in print in this Friday's paper. We'll have it up online at some point around the same time. But yeah, it's a really neat local story that will kind of provide insight into the world of mascots and the hugely kind of time-consuming commitment that you're talking about. And I know we have some excellent photos to go along with that. So that will be one of our good reads in this week's paper. Dave, we will end it there. Look forward to this week's coverage. As always, folks, give us a listen, give us a like, follow us on social media, InsideNoVa.com. Plenty of sports news and plenty of other news from around the region. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Thank you so much. And we will catch up with you next week, if not before.
Thanks, Trevor.
All right, we'll see you.